So You and Me, Forever Will Always Be, is a book about my daughter. So I brought my daughter home when she was a month and 4 days old, and wanted to come up with a way where she knew she was adopted, because she will know, and for her to feel like it's normal. So the way that I looked at it, and I know like to say normal just seems odd, but you know, when you're being raised by grandparents, or you're being raised by same gender parents, or someone who doesn't look like you feel like it's normal until one day you go to school and then you hear mommy and daddy, or you hear, you know, just different stories. And every book that I was reading to her, you know, talked about mommy and daddy, and there's no daddy on this side, there's just mommy. So when I brought her home, I wanted to be able to read her something that made her feel like she was chosen, like she was the reason I'm breathing today, basically. And I wanted to find a book that just felt special. So I started doing some research, and I didn't find a whole lot of adoption books. There are, geez, I want to say, and I could be wrong, but in my research, there's like 25 books, and that would be anywhere from like How to Adopt for Dummies, like those books,
sure,
to some children's books, and then there's like teenage books. There's not a whole lot. And so I decided that I would write a book for my daughter to express how much I love her, and how much this was a choice of mine, and that she is a chosen child. She's not a mistake. She's not, you know, a mishap. She's mine, and I want that in my life. So I decided we'd go for walks in the afternoons, because, you know, one day you come home with a child and like your life is upside down. Mm-hmm. So in the afternoons, when I picked her up from her nanny, then we would go for walks, and words just came to my head, and I would write them down, and we'd walk, and I just came up with a way of just telling her I love her more and more every day. Could you see
yourself doing more of these as she grows?
I've been asked that. I don't know, to be quite honest. I'm not gonna write it off. I wouldn't say no, because that's being closed-minded, and I don't want that. I just don't know what it would look like. I guess it's a to be determined for now, because I never thought I was going to write this one or adopt a child, and here I am talking to you about adopting a child and writing a book. So maybe. We'll go with maybe.
Okay. It is an adventure.
It is.
That you're on.
It is. And it's a great adventure.
Was there ever a point, or when did you get to the point, when at the early stages of this, when you were thinking, I wonder if I should do a book?
I guess it was around her 6 months. Around her 6 months, because at that point I was not, her adoption went through after she was a year and 3 months old, something like that. And around 6 months I realized there was no way that this was going to change, that she was going to stay with me, and I wanted to start something that would show her that I chose her, and that something that will help others, even if it didn't happen to work out, that adoption is, it's a choice. It's an amazing choice.
And I think that's what's so great about this book, that the choice part will hopefully, that the child realizes how blessed they are.
Exactly. Every adopted kid is just blessed, because and honestly, I feel like I'm the more blessed one. Like, she's changed my life in so many ways, and all for the better. So it's just a blessing all the way around. Yeah. Now we're on Amazon and Lulu and a couple other platforms that you can purchase online, and it just feels amazing to have a book that I know that is going to touch other people's lives. That a lot of people have come out to me and said, like, I know someone who's adopted. Like, no one ever talks about adoption, right. And this is now a platform where people can openly talk about it. And that was the point, is that I wanted adoption to feel like it can be talked about, and it can be, it can feel normal. I don't know how to say it any other way than that. And maybe that's not the word, and I would love for somebody to tell me a different word. It's just, no one really ever talks about being adopted. Like, yeah. They just don't.
Was it difficult to do? Doesn't sound like it.
So writing the book itself, thank goodness for Courtney and Gordon, no. But coming up with exactly how I wanted it to sound, like from my head to actual words, was I have a great group of friends and family who I would constantly send to and just make sure, like, does this make sense? Does this come out the way that I'm trying to say it? So it's not, I mean, I don't look at myself as an author by any means, but it was it was fun to do. Difficult, not 100% difficult, no, but it was a very fun project.
And Sarah, good for you for just being able to. So many people are afraid of something like adoption, and you've embraced it, and it does bring about changes when you talk about that.
Lots of changes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but you've done it.
You wake up one day and you have a child. For me, there was no 9 months of prep. There was no 6 weeks of maternity leave. It was, I went home and I came home with a baby one day, and life just changed. As a realtor, I would be out at 8 o'clock at night doing dinners or doing showings, and life just, now I'm making baby food and trying to figure out how to reform things. There's just, you take the classes, because to adopt you do have to go through the foster care program, and you take the classes, but it never really fully preps you until one day you're holding this amazing thing that all of a sudden is the reason you live, and you wake up and don't sleep. But yeah.
Is there an age range that this book is meant for, or is it for really anybody?
It's more of a younger child. Throughout each story, there's different things that you can find. So there's a pink bear, there's a book. So it's interactive, and it also is more of a very, very easy read. Like I said, I don't find myself to be an author at all, but it's a very easy children's book, by all means.
It sounds like it's easy to find. It's on a lot of platforms, and an easy book to find if you want to buy it.
Absolutely, yes. So just put in Amazon, You and Me Forever Will Always Be, and you'll find our little book. So Courtney Burke, she does some amazing, amazing artwork locally. You can find her in a couple different venues here, such as the Pawn Shop, and a lot of walls in different restaurants. Look her up on Instagram or Facebook, amazing work. But she illustrated my entire book. She and I got to sit down and really hash through what we wanted the characters to look like, how to really make it across the board, different genders and nationalities and ages. And then Gordon, with Capitalized Marketing Consultant, he published my book. He does amazing work. He has his own books that he's written. He is a top publisher in different countries, and he does amazing work, and a dear, dear friend of mine. I don't know if I would even be as far along as I am in anything without Gordon in certain ways. He has really introduced me to a bunch of people and really driven me to get out there and just be a different, stronger person than I thought I was. So he does some amazing work, and really he does coaching and does some John Maxwell coaching, does great stuff there. So Gordon and Courtney, I couldn't do this without them. And then the friends and family that I have that helped me and encouraged me to continue with this adventure.